All right, let's go to Jennifer in Phoenix. Hey, Jennifer, what's going on?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Man, it must be I'm just kidding. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good. It's just a regular time wherever you are, so that's great. Just a regular old time. James and Kelly were making fun of me earlier about how to read a clock, and I'm not very good at it, so now I'm just, I'm trying to I'm trying to make jokes out of my discomfort. That's what I'm doing. So sorry, Jennifer, you're walking into like a room and everyone's laughing and you're like, oh, what's going on? So sorry, I just did that to you. So what's up?
Well, yeah, I bet you it's pretty early here, but thank you for taking my question.
Of course.
I've been divorced from my ex-husband for 10 years now, and I have 2 little boys, and it's just been a struggle because it's 2 different households with different ideas of how to do things, and now that they're starting to get older and ask questions and notice things, they are being faced with some difficult subject matter and also just trying to decide who's telling the truth and just things that, a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old shouldn't have to deal with. And, as a parent, I thought, after years that I would be past all this stuff, I guess.
Oh, you're just starting, Jennifer. You're just starting. I'm so sorry. Oh, man.
So I don't want things to be difficult for them, but I'm noticing patterns. It's like I've kept things very businesslike between the relationship between their dad and I, just to avoid conflict. But now that they're starting to get older, they're starting to get caught in the middle of all that stuff.
Yeah. So your boys are worth conflict if they're not safe. And your boys are worth the conflict. That's what parents are for, is to go between them and pain, right? That's what parents do. Mm-hmm. So something must have happened recently, or a couple of things happened. What have you experienced recently that's precipitating this call?
Well, it's little things over the years that are constant. So I'm hearing from them about fighting going on at their dad's house. And, I try not to get involved in all that stuff because I don't know what the situation is over there. And I don't want to talk bad about their dad because I want them to have a relationship with their dad. But it's comments that I know that are hurtful to them. Like saying, oh, the only reason that I married your mom was to have kids. Like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Your kids. And just little things over the years, making negative comments about me, things that make them question themselves and their intelligence. They're just being called, awful names. And
give me an example.
I don't. Like my older son, he was diagnosed as a young child with ADHD. Mm-hmm. And I really believe that's just a result of all the turmoil from this situation. But he's been called stupid and been told his brain doesn't work. And I don't think that's helpful.
No, you can't do that with your kids. You absolutely can't do that with your kids, yeah. So you mentioned a second ago that there's fighting going on there. What do you mean by that? Yelling, people getting pushed around. What do you mean by that?
Nasty yelling and screaming. I don't think it turned to physical things, but I know he's, broken things in the house.
With them there?
So, with them there. Okay. And I know that, for me, I know that that's not okay. Mm-hmm. But legally, that's not enough, which is sad.
How do you know? Have you gone and asked?
Yes, I have.
And an attorney told you, no, that their dad can call them stupid and tell them their brain's broken and smash stuff and scream at them, and that's okay. Well,
the problem is that it's hard for me to prove that. And when I talk to the boys, they don't want to tell me the whole story a lot of times. So I'll notice that they're upset, and I'll ask. But they're very reluctant because they don't want to get their dad in trouble. And I've always told them, like, hey, I'm never going to judge you or whatever. We can talk about anything. So we have a very, established open communication, and they know that I'm just here to support them and whether it's school or activities or even stuff with their dad.
So
But
let's back out for 30,000 feet, okay?
yeah,
Let's say you guys were at a park and a mom showed up with her kid and they were playing, and your son was climbing up the ladder to go down a slide, and she ran up to him and got in his face and started saying, "What are you, stupid? What are you, an idiot? Your stupid brain broken?" There was another kid in line, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm sorry." And he started climbing down, and she's like, "Just stay there, you stupid idiot." What would you do?
oh, we would leave. Obviously, I wouldn't allow him to receive that kind of, but I would, have some things to say to that person.
Okay.
But
So here's the thing. Your boys have learned to protect their dad from you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been protecting him for a decade since your divorce. You know they're not safe over there. You know what they're living in is wild. And you've even said things to me like, I don't want to get involved. I want them to be able to be around their dad. That's important. And so in doing so, you've created a fantasy that you're trying to uphold. You're trying to keep duct tape together. And the boys are on the other end of this. And they've watched, well, it must be okay. I must need to go over here. And this must just be part of fill in the blank. And so as their mom in a situation that you would not allow with a stranger, they desperately need you to get involved. Desperately. And if that means taking them to a play therapist who can talk with them, get them to tell her or him things that they wouldn't tell you, great. If that's a school counselor, great. If that's you calling him, saying, if you call my kid stupid again, we'll go to court. And I may lose, but then we're going to go again. And then we're going to go again. Because I'm not going to let people call my kids stupid, tell me I have a broken brain. I'm not going to let somebody smash stuff and make my 10-year-old feel so terrified in the home of someone who's supposed to love him and keep him safe. I'm not.
I guess I'm just concerned that if I start pushing on this again, which has been my experience in the past, that it's just going to make it worse. Which is something that, as their mom, I am worried about.
What do you mean you're going to make it worse?
It would just make it more stressful for them over there, that they would get in trouble.
Do you hear what you're saying?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they need you now more than ever. And if they get in more trouble, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and that fear is real. I don't want to minimize your fear. But what I'm trying to tell you is you're their mom.
Mm-hmm.
And if by calling him and saying, do not call our son stupid. He's not. I know there's a business arrangement, all that. It's got to become a relational arrangement. Y'all are in this forever together.
Right.
Right? Is he able to have a conversation with you about this? Like if you called him and said, hey man, they're telling me that you tell them that they're stupid. Will he take it out on them?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Will he yell at them further? Will he say, well, can't believe you told your mom on me, and all that kind of nonsense?
Yeah, all of that.
I think you got to sit down with an attorney ASAP because your boys aren't safe.
Okay.
And the attorney may tell you, I'm so sorry, I can't do anything about this. I just don't think that's right. I do think your boys could go get an eval, and my guess is there's other stuff going on there. Would you believe that too?
I would suspect, yeah.
Okay. Go with your gut. Because right now what your boys are learning is some people are just mean and crazy and we just put up with it. And
right.
if nothing else, at least 2 years, 5 years, 7 years from now, there will be a track record that you can show your boys and say, I went to war for you guys. I lost every time, but I never gave up fighting for y'all.
True.
And it is okay. I tell people 24/7, 365, don't talk bad about your ex. I believe that wholeheartedly. But if one of your boys gets told they're stupid, you hold their face and you look them in the eye and say, that is not right. And I know that your daddy loves you, but you are not stupid. He should not have said that. He is wrong. They've got to have somebody in their life speaking truth into them a different way. And there's got to be a physical aspect to that. It will help a young child. It'll help them absorb it. Okay? Your kids at 10 and 12 are going to get enough mixed messages at school, on the internet. They're going to get it everywhere. They've got to have some stability. And they cannot have parents who are smashing stuff, throwing temper tantrums, screaming at them, threatening them. You can't do that. They are learning right now that this is how you treat your children. And so the longer it goes before there's some intervention from an adult who cares about them, the longer it gets embedded in them that this is how dads treat their kids. And this is how generational trauma goes on and on and on. And I hate that you're the one stuck in the middle of this. I really do. And you're their mom. You're their mom. So today I'm on the phone with the lawyer. Today I'm on the phone with the school counselor. Today I'm on the phone with a play therapist in the area that your school counselor can recommend you go talk to. Your boys will talk. They'll tell somebody, even if it's not you. And get them with the right professional care, and then you find out your options. Okay? And if you find out, I want to be as realistic as possible. If you find out, hey, I'm so sorry, there's nothing here. Dads are allowed to scream and smash stuff in front of their kids. They're allowed to call their sons stupid. They're allowed to tell their sons biological lies that their brains are broken or whatever. You've got to be hyper intentional about making sure those boys know when they come to your house, they're safe. That they are not stupid. Their brains are not broken. Daddy is not telling you the truth. And it's okay to combat lies. It really is. It's a difference between saying, your dad's a liar. It's different to say, your daddy is wrong. He is wrong, and I'm sorry. And you're playing a long game now. You're playing a 5, 10, 15, 20-year game where you're going to try to rescue your boys from an abusive dad. And my gut tells me the older they get, the bigger they get, the more they grow into a man body, that aggression is going to get more and more and more. And that means the earlier you can squash this, the better. The earlier. Go to bat for them, man. They need you. They need you, Jennifer. Ugh, hate that. Guys. Husbands, we need you, man. We need you more than ever. Gotta have you, husbands. Dads, gotta have you.